Trees uprooted, limbs down everywhere, and precious pecans all on the ground. That was the scene here at Mason Pecan Orchard in Fort Valley back in September, right after Hurricane Irma came through. The damage was so bad, the Georgia Commissioner of Ag and the United States Secretary of Ag came out to see the devastation for themselves.
We're here at the Mason Farm, and we've seen devastation to a level, particularly in pecan, that we've not seen in quite some time.
Here at this farm alone, the Mason family lost around 3,500 trees. The worst part, they were full of pecans and ready to be harvested.
The crop was early this year, and we were all right at harvest. I mean, we were fixing to, all of our equipment was geared with sweepers and blowers, and we were ready to go on into the fields and start gathering our crop.
And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, with the damage done in the orchard, it caused them to have to delay the harvest that much more for cleanup, just so they could even get to the trees that needed harvesting.
When Irma hit, and the way it laid the trees over, there's no way to get through your orchards. You've got green nuts on the ground that were beginning to open. You couldn't get in there to get them for the most part, because you had to get the trees out of the way where you could get your equipment in there to harvest.
Most of the damage is cleaned up now, and the harvest is complete. But sadly, the nightmare isn't over just yet. The effects of this disaster do not end just after 1 year, or 2, or even 3 years. They can last for decades.
It's not like an annual crop, it's a generational crop. When you think about that, these young boys out here just starting off, that's going to be kind of a third of their career of getting going.
The Masons can't even begin to plant the trees back yet due to there being such a high demand for pecan trees. The nurseries are so far backed up on production, it will be years before this farm will see new trees to replace those lost.
We ordered for planting our trees for 2018 a year and a half ago. Any trees that we need now for Hurricane Irma, the earliest we'll be able to get them is 2019.
Even if they did have the trees, it still wouldn't be much help. The trees that were lost were about 20 years old and were producing substantial yields. The new trees will take more than a decade before they are producing enough to help recoup those losses.
It's not just the instant trees and the nuts and the crop that was lost in September when Irma came through, but it's the expectancy of crop income that was lost over the next 10, 12, 14 years to really get these new plants into a situation where they could start putting you back whole in your operation.
Reporting in Fort Valley for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.